Welcome back to Band Aid with Doc Rock. I am Doc Rock along with Nurse Roller. We are in the recovery room. I've been waiting for this moment because the kings of rock and roll, as far as Northeastern Ohio are concerned, are here in the recovery room. This is Maddie Finn. I mean, this is the real Maddie Finn. These are not imposters. This is the real deal. Welcome to Band Aid. Good. All right, great to have you here. Now, we just heard some Maddie Finn music. What do we hear?
Well, the first track you heard was called Medicine, and
okay.
we recorded that for the Rock Off. And then the second track you heard was called Forevermore, and we recorded that at our 24-hour Annie Up Day of Fun. It was great.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Yes. It was good times.
Great when you can hear the quality of the recording. Obviously, it's Annie Up quality, which is really great stuff. Now, could you please, for all of the brand new fans that are watching tonight, introduce yourselves and the instrument that you play?
Well, hello. My name is Maddie, Madeline, or Optimus Prime, whatever you'd like to call me. And I play piano, and I sing, and that's pretty much it. How about you?
My name is Ray Flanagan, and I play the guitar. And I would just like to say to Jim Stewart in the chat room, if you're watching, that I don't appreciate the comments about me beating you in chess.
My name's Brian. I play guitar. My name's JP. I play the bass.
My name's Kyle. I play the drums.
Got it. Okay. Process of elimination. That's really great.
Oh dear.
That is really good. Well, first of all, you're all wondering, of course, why Nurse Roller is wearing this tiara and why we've got this crown. And this crown has sentimental rock-off value because what we did in the grand early days of the rock-offs, in my tenure, is whenever the champion band was ever playing on stage, we had a big procession that was walking out with this very same crown on velvet in front of the crowd, and we would lay it down in front of the bass drum of the champion band. And, of course, the last time this ever saw the rock-off stage was in 2003 when the legendary Johnny Psycho and the Switchblade Rockers won it in 2002 and 2003. So we had to kind of dust it off a little bit tonight and say because the champions are here, we still had to lay it by a drum for champion bands like you. All right, now this is a really dumb question, but I have to get it out of my system. Let me guess how the band got its name.
Months and months of just thinking. We didn't know what to do.
Okay. Well, how did you get away with that? How did you guys whip out on this one and give it all up there?
She kind of just...
Well,
she has that artistic personality that just...
I guess so. They say I threatened them, but I never did. I actually remember we were at Annie Up, and I was like, guys, we should get a band name. And they said no. Correct?
Correct.
Correct.
It is the truth. Okay. And, of course, you beat them all in chess, right? So, okay, that's how the name came out. Got it all. All right, that's cool. The, there's... You've had quite a year.
It's been pretty awesome.
I guess what I really have to ask you is, what was it like to hear your name called? If you could think back almost a year ago to that very moment, and that very tense moment, because I've been there on stage, and I've been the guy who's had to announce that in years of old, when they said that you are the winner. What went through your minds?
It was probably one of the most incredible moments. It's so suspenseful, and then you hear, first they tell you, what city it's from, and so you hear Streetsboro, and you're like, oh, goodness. Could it be? Could it happen? And then you hear your name, and you just, I remember there's a big group of us from Streetsboro, and we just started jumping up and down and screaming, like small children. And it was one of the... there's no way to explain it or describe
energy
it.
Rush or anything.
It's adrenaline. I don't even remember the walk from the crowd to the stage. It was just all a blur.
And all the parents are going, oh my God, they're not going on to continuing education in college. Okay.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. Well, it has to be incredible, of course. And how any memories of how your rents and your peers, and your schools reacted to this because it just hit so fast.
Anybody want to talk about that? Raymond, you talk about that.
All right, so I have a sort of a unique perspective on Maddie Finn winning the Rock Off, which is that I wasn't in Maddie Finn when Maddie Finn won the Rock Off. I was in a competing band called Shane Stokes, whereas all our drummer Kyle and Brian also played in, and we were all in all kinds of different bands together. But I remember sitting there in the semifinal night watching Maddie play and watching these guys play and just thinking she could win the whole thing. And I honestly did say that quite a few times. And what do you know? I was right. But I figured in the end, you just start hanging around people like this, and if you can't beat them, you join them.
And now it's told, okay? You heard it right here first on Band Aid with Doc Rock. Confession hour, okay. Incredible.
Did you get to see copies of your judging sheets?
Yes, we did.
How
And
was that?
it was actually pretty cool. There was a lot of like constructive criticism. There weren't many bad things. Like the judges are always really good about not saying mean things. They're just like very constructive and nice, and then it's also very encouraging to know what you're doing right and to keep working on that.
Sure. No, I'm glad you do. You know, and it really, you take those good comments in a smart band. You know, you take them with a good spirit and you grow from them.
Exactly.
You know, you just grow from them. And consider the source that they were the best judges at the finals. And so, you know, it comes from very, very competent, incredible people. You know, when you look back at all of it, what would you have done differently? If you had to really go back and, you know, and do it all over again, what would you have done differently?
Kyle, you want to take this one?
Throw it to Kyle in the drum
Oh,
department.
it's...
Yo, I mean,
Well,
we would have had Ray in the band to begin with.
Okay.
Um,
What's Ray brought to the band? Ray, don't answer. No.
Brian, you talk about
Come on.
this, brother.
The guitar department must speak.
Guitar department right here. This man right here is so incredible at the instrument of guitar. He comes in here and he freaking changes our whole genre of music. He really does. I swear to God, it's really good. It's like a progressive modern rock feel now, I guess you would call it. I mean, it's really interesting what it's done. It's awesome. I mean, he's added so much to the band. I love you, Ray. I love you more, Brian.
The band's really getting along tonight. Okay, you're out of it, Maddie. So.
Okay. I just sing. That's it.
Are you going to attend the event in 2011? Are you going to stop back down again? Okay, I'll let you take the crown. You can wear the crown throughout the crowd if you want to, you know. But you know, I think it's important that you continue to encourage the other bands, obviously, as much as you can, and network with them and all that stuff. So what happened? You got to give us the insight. How did you apply, and what did you do with the grand prizes? Florida vacation, Disney, what happened? You know?
Does anybody else want to talk about this, or am I taking this one away? Kyle. Family show.
we blew all. Oh, family show? JP.
He just blew his answer. Gone, that's it. Okay. Thanks for tuning in. Show's over with.
Oh, dear. Oh, wow. Well, we had 24 hours at Annie Up with our good friend Jim Stewart, who is a phenomenal man. And we don't want to make him mad because...
Mention the chess.
Yeah, we don't want to go into the chess game. It was epic. But we got that, and that was so much fun. We had a really good time with that, and we came out with our 5-track EP, and it was an experience, to say the least.
Now, wait a minute. A 5-track EP, you did this in just 24 hours. You marathoned it. Don't you feel like after the 14th hour or so, there's a little bit of burnout?
No, we had Mel.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's tough to recording for 24 hours, you know. I mean, it's just, but if you're going to be at any place, Andy Up would be a great place to be, obviously, you know. So that'd be really something. By the way, some questions are flying in the chat room, and yes, you can certainly, if there's things you've always wanted to ask Maddie Fenn, now's the time to do it to get their honest reaction while they're on live TV. And I've got one from Josh. Josh says, what was it like to hear your music on a professional medium? And what was it like in a real studio? It's from Josh.
Who wants to talk about this? JP.
No, I don't really.
Answer the question. Okay,
but
come
you're
on.
the recording guy.
What was
You
it?
don't know the question?
What was it like to hear your music on in a professional medium? And what was it like to really be in a real studio?
Can I hog the mic for this one, boys? All right. Well, it was kind of overwhelming to begin with because we're so used to recording in like basements and of schools and just random stuff like video. Our entry for the Rock Off was actually a video because we had no recordings, so it was overwhelming. The first real studio experience we had was when we won the semifinal round. Oh, JP wants to say something.
It's scary when there's a $10,000 microphone hanging in the center of the room. But if you trip,
Oops is not a good word.
yeah,
No,
you can't, there's no apology for breaking a $10,000 microphone. If you sneeze at it, it might explode.
Wow, incredible. Some people have mentioned to me when they heard your music, they said, gosh, she reminds me of a very young Pat Benatar.
Yes, definitely.
Did you get that? Pat Benatar? Okay, and they say Chrissy
I think
Hine.
she's
Chrissy
sounds more
Hine.
like
Chrissy
Cher.
Hine. Okay. Oh,
I've
come
heard-
on.
I do not
Nice
sound like
guy.
Cher at all.
Oh, my
Strike that
gosh.
from the record. We've gotten Chrissy Hine before. I remember.
Okay.
God. We've gotten Chrissy Hine before, and I like her music. I like Pat Benatar's music. I like music in general, but I think the thing I like about Chrissy Hine most is her like political spin on all that
Right.
stuff, and it's.
For a new restaurant? Have you been to a restaurant in
I want to
Akron?
go so bad.
Oh, I know. I'll go.
I'm so
I'll take you
excited.
to lunch or someday because I've got.
It's right by Luigi's.
Yeah, exactly. And people are telling me that the food's really good, and she's occasionally there and stirs around and all that stuff. So she's accessible, but it's really cool. She played the garage shop
Yep.
a couple months ago,
Mhm.
and just back that. Now, are you ever going to get away to do a little bit of a tour? And I can't imagine you touring because first of all, the five of you. Are we talking about 5 separate buses or one bus for the guys and one bus that's the Starlet's bus?
Yeah, one van and a
Okay.
trailer.
We'll start with it.
One very small
Maybe.
car.
Ah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it would be. I just think you'd be a heck of a lot of fun. On tour.
Oh,
Really. Yeah.
we're looking into it. If anybody would like to tour with us, we're totally game for it.
Okay. Good to know. Wow.
We would like to fund the tour for us.
Who out of your group is kind of the wild one and high risk?
Who would you have to really watch? Here we're putting them on the spot. The 5 members of Maddie Finn. Who really?
Depends if Brian has energy drinks or not.
We can't
Can
hear
you say that again?
I think it depends if Brian has energy drinks or not.
Ah. Okay.
I'm gonna go with Brian. Can we go with Brian? All in favor of Brian, say aye.
The quiet one? He
No
usually
joke,
is
he's
the quiet
crazy.
one.
He's
Yeah.
crazy.
Okay, so he'd be the one. He would be the one. And it was asked in the chat room, somebody just asked, your great friend Ben is already in the chat room having a great time. And Ben just, now Ben says, if you could open for any band other than Paramore, who would it be? Any choice.
All right. Well, this is the dream concert that we have formulated in our minds, in which Bruce Springsteen opens for Rush. Okay, Smash Mouth opens for Bruce Springsteen, who opens for Rush, who opens for Bruce Springsteen to come back and play another set.
You heard it here.
Okay, that would be it. So, Live Nation, you've heard it too. So, let's see. By the way, you had to open for a band? That's part of your prize package,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Who did you open for?
We opened for Paramore.
You did do Paramore.
Yeah,
okay.
we did the Honda Civic tour with Paramore, Newfound Glory, Tegan and Sarah, and some other random Swedish band.
Okay, really?
We were on the Scene side stage, which is not the main stage, which kind of sucks, but it's whatever. It's better than nothing, you know what I mean?
Really?
And you're like right in the middle, like right when everybody starts running in. So you've got all those crazy small teenage girls that just run to the center, like, oh my god, Diana! And then some of them stay and listen, and those are the people you connect with. And it was a good time. It was a
Really?
lot of fun. And then
Really?
we got to see Paramore for free. Well, I did. You guys don't even like Paramore.
That's,
JP does.
Okay, well that's incredible. And there's Jen is having a real fun time in the chat room, and Jen asked, she said, would you open for the Captain and Tennille?
Why not?
Sure.
I'm just asking the question, Jen.
Why would we say no?
Love keeps us together and all those great hits of the 70s. Ah, boy, I can see a clash of styles with that band. But you had a great sense of humor. You were really fun. You're really fun folk, and I think you would have a lot of fun with really any of them. There was a great stunt done in the 70s. Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show, who did the legendary song back then called "On the Cover of the Rolling Stone." They played a tour where they were all 3 bands on their bill. they changed outfits and instruments, and they were the opening act as one name, and then they came back out as the opening act, and the audience totally believed.
Very similar to what we
I'm
did.
giving you a wild idea. You're hearing it first on Band-Aid, okay? That they did the actual, but with your, you'd be a little tough to mask, you know, your talent with it. How are you gonna? We wouldn't dare put you on the drums.
Actually,
Come on.
I was in marching band.
I screwed up
played
again.
drums in marching
Really?
band, yeah.
Really? Oh my God, that's incredible.
Wait, you recorded snare on
I
Well,
did.
you know,
So if you do the drums, who would be the singer?
Brian.
ah,
Right.
Fantastic rendition of Home on the Range.
okay.
Sing it, Brian.
The wheels on the bus. No. Wait a second.
No.
But let's talk about your music for a second now, okay? You know, first of all, the song "Why Don't You Tell Me?" The tight bass and guitar work on that is incredible. I mean, I'm a former producer. I listened to it several times in headphones, and I really, it's very well done. So props to you. You know, that was the recording I thought was really impressive. And what I really liked about it in production is that there was no clutter. No clutter and arrangements and layers of effects that really interfered with the great melody. There's a really good melody to that song. If you have not heard, why don't you tell me? It is worth listening to. But listen to it on top of the enjoyment. Listen to the production value of that song because it really is well arranged, well produced. It's something that nobody would think of would come from artists your age. So really, there's a compliment in there for you. You add tunes like Medicine, Voices, I'll Bet, and Forevermore. They're all so diverse and really well written and arranged. How do you get inspired with all this versatility? And tell us about how you write. And please don't tell me that Maddie does it all and just hands it off to you.
No.
Okay, thanks.
It's something like that. Brian, do you want to explain it? Because you're pretty good at this. You did this. Well, yeah, do it.
All right. So Maddie, of course, is the mastermind. She brings in the basic chords and song structure, and she brings it to the band, and that's where me, Kyle, Justin, and Ray, we try to put it all together. We tweak the chords a little bit. We put good rhythms to it, breakdowns. Heck yes, definitely. Yeah, but for sure, weird time signatures with Ray. Yeah, Ray's a nerd. Frog nerd, yes indeed. But we try to keep it as simple as possible. To try to keep Maddie's, because really the main thing is keeping the simple song structure. To utilize the melodies, and we're just in the background trying to fill it in. Okay, so that's all we do.
Okay, now listen. I noted on one of your social networking pages that you like speaking in accents and eating gorging Mexican food.
Oh my God.
Now, you do that before you go on stage, the Mexican food? I do not want to be... Okay, thank you. Okay.
Kyle's pretty passionate about this, so I'm going to give the mic to you in case you want to talk about it.
Alright, you just keep talking about Mexican food.
Loves his Mexican
Fiesta Jalapenos, greatest Mexican place ever.
Okay.
Alejandro, shout out.
Okay. Now, do you ever get to play any Irish gigs? Because there's Irish clubs that hire
We should.
bands and stuff.
That's a great idea.
I mean, you
It
really
really-
should play some. There's East Side, West Side Irish clubs. And these are well-attended gigs, and they do have a lot of young folk at these places. And it would be kind of cool to take a slot like that, okay? Because it could be a whole new marketing angle for you.
Any of you
you know.
can do an Irish accent?
Ray.
Okay.
Oh, dear God. Something about haggis. Is that Scottish?
Haggis is Scottish, no please. Corned beef and cabbage.
Hello, my name is Liam O'Flaherty, and welcome to Band-Aid with Doc Rock.
That's pretty
I'm honored. Thank you.
That's pretty scary.
All we need is a pot of gold and a heck of a lot of viewers. So that would be really great. Something fantastic.
So when you're on tour, what would be the stock and meal for your dressing room listed in your rider?
Oh, Maddie Finn Rider, you're right. Because if you're going to go on tour, you got to have a rider to stock your dressing room.
Can I get a group rock juice?
Rock juice.
Rock juice. Rock juice is also known as AMP, which is an energy drink. Although cocaine is pretty good, and the energy drink that we've been drinking in the green room, and it's pretty awesome. It's like 3.5 Red Bulls.
Really?
3.5.
Really?
Not just one Red Bull, 3.5. And I'm sure we would need pizza
Okay.
or endless melt bar and grill sandwiches.
Ah.
It's my favorite restaurant, and I always soundtrack with talking about it. So
But you guys won't be able to perform after eating all that. You'd be like, well, they need a forklift to get you out there. I mean, that's going
Who
to be...
cares? It's melt.
It's great stuff, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
You know, and we had some other emails that came in from so many of your fans. Zappaman is on there online, and said Zappaman said, "Well, then it is David Shaw as Zap, but don't blow his cover. Don't blow David Shaw's cover. It's Zappaman, right? Okay. How do you balance the band and rehearsals, you know, and shows with school? I mean, how do you do all this stuff? Who's answering?
Here's answering.
Hold that microphone. Give us an answer. We want to hear about this.
It is actually, all right, coming from, you know, I'm the one that has to set up all the practices, being at the drums there at my house and all that. And I'm in several bands with these crazy people. And it is very difficult. Usually people may think that, you know, we practice regularly, maybe like once a week. We are lucky to get a practice in once a month.
Really?
Yeah. So, but we find a way.
And how many hours do you practice?
Like,
No, I think we practice.
when we actually do it, we, you know, practice a good 3 hours, I would say. It'd be,
Really?
yeah.
It's just hard because we're all in so many different bands.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
So you keep
Yeah,
the other
but-
side projects going as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, got it. Jim wants to know. You're the engineer. You're a concussive engineer.
Yeah.
He was the guy. He confesses he had the Captain Tennille comment. So he felt really guilty about that and wanted to set the record straight.
Thank you, Jim. Jim, we
It
love
came
you.
from, you know. Jordan said, "What is your dream venue to play in? If you could pick any venue,
We've already
dream
played
venue."
at the House of Blues.
Okay, that's a dream venue.
That's when I was like in 6th grade. On a yacht, hands down.
Okay, really? Okay, out of your pants. See what you said? You said the name of the place, and the lights just blew right out. Okay.
On a yacht.
What happened with that? Oh my gosh, you were
I'm
blown
on a
fuse.
yacht.
It's because the fuse was so overloaded with so many people in the chat room tonight. And so many fans out there. Oh, they're just grilling
don't
this
mind.
place to death. We've got
We
fans
don't mind.
outside the studio. A lot of you don't even realize this tonight. They're probably climbing the utility poles in the storm
It's kind of scary.
and rocked it. You know, that's
They're
okay.
waiting in the bushes.
That's not creepy at
Incredible
all.
stuff. So, well, let's go ahead and pay our electric bill and just see if maybe by chance we can come back in the light on this whole thing. To move on to this stuff too. You know, what is next for really your career plans? I mean, you've done this, okay. You know, are you thinking you've got this EP that you're going to record some more to that? And how about videos? You know, well, you've got a lot of videos up on YouTube, a lot of live stuff, which is really good. I enjoyed the energy that you put into your live stuff. But what future plans has Maddie Finn got in mind?
Well, can I say this? Because I handle most of the business end of everything.
Okay.
We are going to record a full length, and we're going to add 5 more songs onto our EP that's recorded. We're going to record with Gabe Schwartz
Okay.
at Hood. Because I would like to record at Ania, but we just can't afford it. And we love Jim, but
Sure. Have you ever
Schwartz
thought
does a
about
good job.
bartering it? I mean, maybe doing... No, seriously. Bands don't realize this with, the ability to barter, okay? Hey, we'll be your promo band. We'll do some stuff. We'll be studio musicians. Swap time. You can really do that with studios, okay?
that'd be interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt to ask. So future recording
So
plans.
we're
and all.
going to record anyone, regardless of where we record it, we're going to record it. And then we just got, we're trying to get on a tour this summer. We have to talk that over with the parental units, and
okay.
then we'll see what happens.
Okay.
God said, "Let there be light."
Yeah. Well, God answered. With going on tour, you can just do a regional tour.
Yeah.
Some places like that, and it's kind of fun just to see how new audiences and new markets react. One of the things that I always try to tell bands is you don't have to go to big cities. Sometimes the best markets are the B and C smaller cities because people there don't have as many entertainment options. And when good bands come to town, they flock to see good bands more than the larger cities. And you build a better fan base, a more loyal fan base out of the smaller areas than you really do the big cities. So I would encourage you on that tour. It doesn't have to be Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Cincinnati, all that kind of stuff. You can pick towns like Marietta, Lima, Findlay, these types of towns that that are strong rock towns. Fort Wayne, Indiana, there's a great one. And I'll tell you a great town that I think you do very well in is Syracuse, New York. You know, but Syracuse, New York is a great university town. University towns are really strong for music and stuff like that. Okay, but thank you, Syracuse. But but you know, a town like that, that's a really great artistic town. Another one that's killer is Rochester. Rochester is a great place for young bands. So, you know, and it's all good. And of course, as you know, as what did I see? One fan wrote about you. One of the comments on the site, they said you are the new Paramore. Does that upset you? Does that, you know?
It doesn't
is that
upset
like
me.
old
It's
by
yeah.
now?
Kyle just said it fuels us, and it kind of does. I mean, I like Paramore. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I confess.
Great band, huh?
I confess to liking a mainstream band.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it's important. Well, I think it's a great goal.
I like what I like, and I get a lot of my influence from Paramore. I really like Haley Williams' voice and songwriting, and I feel like when people compare us to them, it just kind of makes us want to work harder and just keep going, and maybe we'll reach that level someday. You never know. It's all up in the air right now.
Sure. That's a great attitude, because don't pigeonhole yourself. Leave your options open. Everybody likes to do that. I mean, everybody needs to pigeonhole you and say, oh, they're just like this, okay? Your biggest competitor is you. If you're doing better now than you were a year ago and more creative and everything, you're doing great. You're not competing with any other band out there. And this goes for listeners as well, okay? Compete against yourself. And that really, you'll find that at your own pace and your own creativity level, you'll deliver some really cool product. And what I really like about Maddie Finn, and Nurse was commenting to me before about it, she said, you know, again, your versatility, you know, and your writing style and everything is just so, you know, it really is sincere with all these songs that you've written. They're really sincere songs. They're not just the typical love stuff. I get a lot of bands that come on the show and I go, well, I write about my love experiences, you know, and it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, we try really, really hard not to do that.
Exactly, you know, okay, and you know, although there may be love experiences, and everybody has them, you know, times the amount of humanity, times the number of love experiences, it gets a little bit much after a while. Okay.
Exactly. We've got one song about that, and that's all bet, and that's even emotionally felt. I mean.
Okay.
And I always write from either my experiences or experiences of other people.
Okay.
Because I don't want to just relate it all to myself. Because I read all the lyrics and stuff.
Okay.
But that's one of the only songs we have about that, I think. Everything else is, you know, we've got songs about Lily. We have a song called Lily, and that's about the Holocaust. I wrote it after I watched Schindler's List, actually. It was kind of odd. But
sure.
I just write when I feel inspired.
Okay. Very important. Now, all your fans want me to ask this question of you. Are you in love, Maddie Finn?
No comment.
I tried, everybody. I tried. Okay, so.
I may or may not be.
Okay, well, you don't know. Yeah. Well, you don't know that. By the way, your chat room is so evil. All of these fans that are out there in the chat room, now they've had a running bet throughout the entire thing, and I just have to confess this to you because I think so highly of you. The chat room guests were taking bets on when and how long it would take for Maddie to snort.
No! I hate you all! I hate you all!
So, just so they're satisfied, would you give us one?
I can't do it.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
She did do one.
Oh, did she do it before? You caught it before?
But if nobody else caught it, then it doesn't count.
I hope you got your snorts. I hope you're happy.
We were recording once, and they made a metronome out of my snore.
Really?
No joke.
Really?
No joke.
And that was
Jim Stewart did
you
that.
did that Eric Clapton song, Cocaine. Oh, it's perfect. Yeah, I remember how you did it. The animals are still active in the chat room. We'll only get a couple more questions. And, you know, Ben said, you know, would you consider changing your name to, quotes, too funk to be ska?
That's a super inside joke.
Oh, boy. Ben, you are not doing good tonight. So,
Go away, Ben.
oh, boy. You know what? And you always have the power with some of these folks. You can write a song about them. Okay, and really fix them, okay? Garrett's in that classroom.
Oh, no.
Yes, Garrett's in the classroom.
That's my brother.
Oh, really? Okay, well, fine.
bad.
He used to be your brother. He says, thanks for the drums, by the way. Mom kicked you out. You're in the garage tonight. But what are your plans for the future? And most importantly, why is Kyle so sexy?